Man, guys, we're sorry about that little hiccup. Mark Henry, please do you hear us now?
Check, check. We good? We good?
Is there sound? Gotta wait for that delay to catch up because I'm
Yeah.
talking on the screen still.
No. I think we're good, man. We just had a little hiccup there. I see all the levels going through. Guys, I apologize. Thank you for tuning in. Little mishap there. Guys, we have a big show. J Tuck, your guy Nix, Spoonie. Guys, take it off again. Let them know where to find you.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, guys. I'll let you guys go ahead and take
No,
off.
yeah, not a problem. And as you can see right at the bottom of my screen, you can find me on Twitter at your guy Nick.
Man, guys, we're sorry
between
about
all
that
those,
little hiccup.
obviously. On top of that, if you're on Facebook, you can hit us at Stargame. We got a group and a page. Like and follow the page. Also, go join the group. Me or Spoonie, we'll get you in there for sure.
Yep, again, I am Spoonie. You can find me also on Twitter at Spoonie881, and I'm with BJ Nix on Star Games.
Yeah, yeah. And what's up, everybody? You know me, man. JTuck151 at Twitter, and also follow me at Cowboys Fans Only on also Facebook and also on the YouTube channel. What's up, Sid? Man, how you feeling?
Hey, man. How am I feeling? Man, that's the question of the day. How am I feeling, man? I'm lost for words, man. What I expected to happen didn't happen. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what's next for the Dallas Cowboys with this shocking news. As everybody knows, Dak didn't get signed, and it was a last minute. There was something that came out that they nearly got it done, but it was too late. It's just depressing, man. What do you guys think? Do you think that? I don't know what to say anymore, man.
I mean, they played chicken and lost. At the end of the day, you can't sit there when you're trying to get a franchise quarterback deal done, 4 to 5 years, wherever the case may be, and sit there and think, okay, well, at 3 o'clock, an hour before the deadline Eastern time, well, we're just going to call up real quick and we're just going to hammer this thing out after, low key not talking for a long time. Unfortunately, Stephen Jones and their theory of deadlines make deals, and as long as we can get a hold of the player and talk to the player, he'll be thirsty to sign this contract and we'll get it done. And it backfired, blew up in their face. I think it's pretty much that simple at the end of the day.
Yeah, Nix, and I agree with you, man. And I feel like this way, man. Why I think a lot of Cowboys fans, self-included, is feeling devastated about this because it really could have got done. I felt like there was just no effort to really meet in the middle and get this job done. And as Nick mentioned, man, they were playing chicken, and eventually I think the Cowboys lost, which was going to jeopardize us having our franchise quarterback for the long term. So I hate it for the Cowboys fans. I really hate it for Dak, as I mentioned numerous times. You said somebody who's did everything the right way coming in from day one, leadership, no problems, just done everything he's asked, and he wasn't rewarded the way that the Cowboys should have rewarded him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Spoon. Rush is asking, have you calmed down? FYI.
Yeah, I calmed down some. I was a little hyped earlier, and I should be hyped. This was bad for all Cowboy Nation, all fans across the world. Nobody thought, listen, I never thought this was going to happen. At the end of the day, Dak deserved his money. He deserved the security, the long term. I don't like the franchise tag. I don't believe a player like him, for what he did for the Cowboys organization, should play on the franchise tag. He should be treated as the Cowboys franchise quarterback. And I'm just devastated. We all know that he's our quarterback this year, but going forward, we don't know. And that's going to be the issue. So it's going to be some type of ride.
Listen, what does this mean for the Dallas Cowboys going forward, though? As an organization, what does this mean for the team? How does this come off? You just franchise tagged your QB. You wouldn't meet. You paid a wide receiver. You paid a running back last year. You paid D-Law. I mean, everybody got their money. But the key guy that runs your team, that is your team, that's going to bring you to that championship, you didn't pay him.
Yeah, and I have to say, man, I think it'll never be the same. Now, granted, we don't know what Dak's relationship was originally with the Cowboys, but there's going to be a tear. I mean, if you saw the tweet by Dak's brother, of course, Dak is going to say the right things, keep it PR friendly, but I think underneath the surface, he's pissed off. His circle is pissed off about everything that's going on. So I don't think the relationship with Dak and the Cowboys will ever be the same after today, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I think, and I think some of that's going to boil down to the way that the Cowboys front office likes to do business, and that's in the streets. And they to me, it's a smear campaign to turn the fans to put the pressure on said player to sign maybe for what they want, a little bit lower. And I don't per se like that. And of course, that's what his brother's kind of speaking to some. I mean,
Right.
there are always leaking numbers, leaking different things, whatever the case may be, and it painted Dak as being quote unquote greedy. I saw a lot of that on Twitter the last couple of days leading up to this. Well, Dak's being greedy. And it's like, well, they give you numbers, but they don't give you years. And that's the telltale sign. If you paid attention, you read the tea leaves, or you listen to guys like us that are talking, that were plugged in, and it comes down to it was years and it was percentage of guaranteed. That was the sticklers. But the only thing you ever heard was, well, 33 to 35 million, 106 plus. They never told you how much the plus was.
Right.
106 plus million. So they're like, oh, well, I mean, Dak should sign. Your average fan who's going to tune is going to be like, oh, well, Dak should sign. That was the problem.
Right.
And whenever the in-house of his brother, and be clear, brother didn't send out that tweet with reckless abandonment, if you will.
Right.
Yeah, man. I think we got a troller in the chan, man. We got a troller.
Uh-oh.
Tracy Andrew. Well. That not gonna bring you to the championship. Blessing in disguise.
I don't know. I mean, I won a lot of bets today saying that Dak was going to be on the tag. So I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I got some chicken wings, an apology video, and $45 more in my pocket. So a silver lining for me today, either way. And hey, who's to say that he's not going to take us to the championship? Everybody like he's not playing now. He's still going to be here next year.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we had this discussion earlier, and I said it. I said, what if Dak comes out and does everything that we need him to do and gets us to that Super Bowl? What do you think he's going to say to that office, and that front office next year? Pay me my damn money.
Because people forget, man, chip on his shoulder, Dak, is deadly, man. I mean, the way he came in his rookie season, he had that chip on his shoulder with the whole Romo's shadow overshadowing him, man. He played lights out. So, I mean, I think it could possibly light a fire under Dak to kind of prove the Cowboys wrong. But the Cowboys might have to pay a premium for that next year. And if they don't, then the risk is even higher. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
here's my thing. I don't like when you play in Dak's case. He's a human being. He's a great leader and everything. But in this case here, you also got to worry about security, because one issue while you're playing this game, and this is a very brutal game, your security's out the window. And that's the one thing I was emphasizing early today in our podcast earlier, was that it's going to be a distraction year all over again. You're going to have media attention across the board on him getting paid, whether he has a good game, whether he has a bad game. And no quarterback should be under that type of spotlight at all. And he's going to be in that spotlight. It's like I said earlier, the only way I feel that Dak Prescott will be a Cowboy next season is if we go to the Super Bowl. If we don't go to the Super Bowl, I think this is it. When you get tagged, a tag means you are rental for that year. We don't believe in you going forward. That's the thing about it. The Cowboys have no excuse. They have the cap space. They could have just paid him anytime. Right. In the beginning, I felt that because Mahomes wanted to get paid, maybe the agent wanted to let's see what Mahomes' money looked like first before you give Dak. Well, that's not the case. Regardless what it looked like, it should never have went to the last minute. Right. We shouldn't have been seeing James Slater's comment about that they almost agreed to a deal. Nah, it should never happen. And I remember BJ last week had said, well, now that Mahomes got paid on Thursday, should Dak be paid off by Monday at least? Yeah. I was like, let's give it a Wednesday. But BJ was right. End of the day, they don't believe in him going forward. If it's not a Super Bowl, in my opinion, he would not be here after this season. And, it's like I said before, everything about Dak Prescott from 2016 going forward he should be every fan should want Dak Prescott as their quarterback.
I mean, let me double down on you, Spoon. I mean, at the end of the day, there's only two quarterbacks that have put up 40 wins in the passing yardage that he's put up, and that's him and Dan Marino. That's it.
Right.
That's it in NFL history. That's it. So, I mean, we can take whatever it is, and I think most of Cowboys Nation does believe that he did this under inferior coaching when it comes to Jason Garrett.
Right.
And to look at, and I get it, because I know a lot of people look at it and say, well, this is just what he is, and forget the fact that you're going to grow and you're going to do better. Like for me, going into last year and we were doing our shows, I'm like, hey, I'm looking for Dak to make that jump from year 3 to year 4, and you can go back and look and say like a Matt Ryan or a Russell Wilson, and look at their stats their first 3 years. Then you see that big explosion year 4, and you saw the same thing for Dak. So it's telling you he's trending the right direction.
Right.
And the fact that this front office did not get this deal done. I mean, shame on Stephen Jones. I mean, we don't. Yeah. I think we let Stephen Jones get off the hook a lot because he was such the counter swing from Jerry, and the drafting got better underneath him. So we kind of let go that he doesn't do much in free agency, and he doesn't get guys paid in a timely manner. But at a certain point in time, we have to bring him to the carpet on that too.
Yeah,
right,
man.
Of course.
I just want to chime in, man. I want to send a shout out to the boys 2138. This guy's always tuning into the live stream, and he has a question. And guys, this is a really interesting question. I didn't think about this one. He says, I wonder if Zeke and D-Law's underperforming hurt Dak's contract negotiations.
I would say possibly, but here's the thing, and kind of going off what Nick has said, like, and also to the boys, he had a conversation about, what can Dak do next year to get a contract next year? It's like, what more can you ask for Dak? Asking for a Super Bowl is unrealistic. I mean, if you look at it from the offensive perspective, the offense held their end of the bargain last season. So it wasn't really the offense. It was the defense didn't hold up their end of the bargain.
Yep.
And so to have that reflect on Dak, that shouldn't have been a representation of Dak, because you think about it, and we talked about this the other day, is if you add 3 to 4 more wins into our season last year, Dak's in the MVP conversation. So then what? So you really can't look at this season and really point your finger at Dak Prescott and say he didn't do what it takes to get the job done. I mean, the offense was there. And then you bring in weapons like CeeDee Lamb, and you bring these toys in for the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy, who's a quarterback coach. You think that the most important thing would be to take care of the quarterback. So, like I say, I think that's the reason Cowboys fans, the whole Cowboys nation, we're just having trouble understanding it. It really doesn't make sense to us. Now, Dak had a piss poor season last year. This conversation goes a lot different. But seeing what we saw, there was nothing that stood out that makes you say, Dak really ain't the guy. We need to move somewhere else. And so I just feel like,
what more does he have to do? What more? Like,
yeah. Well, let me chime in because
Spooty, let me breathe, bro. Breathe.
Whoa, wait, real quick. Hold on. I want because Tuck making a great point, and I want to backdoor that. Yeah. You can't judge it off of a Super Bowl. Super Bowl is a team thing. Right. We know the quarterback gets more credit and more discredit than he deserves at times. We understand that, but you can't base it off of he gets a deal if he gets to the Super Bowl. It's a team thing. Now, players underperforming maybe with contracts. I mean, let's be clear. I mean, Zeke still pounded out 1,200 yards last year. It's not like Zeke fell off the map. Right. And whatnot when it pertains to that. As far as what can he do, I'll be honest with you. I guess he has to impress McCarthy, because to me, and I'll let you jump in after this. To me, a part of this somewhere has to do somewhat with McCarthy. He's the coach that's coming in, the incumbent. I get it. He said, "Oh well, yeah, Dak's my guy for sure. He's got some business to handle," and that's about all he said about Dak for the most part. Right. And I'm paraphrasing some of that a little bit. But if you're the coach and y'all had this big, huge sleepover at Jerry Jones before you got hired and everything, we know Dak was brought up and talked about, and yet it didn't get done. And something sits a little funny there for me.
I don't think D-Law nor Zeke's contract have anything to do with Dak not getting paid at all. It's everything to do with Mike McCarthy. I know me and BJ, we spoke on the side, and this is during about February time, and he came and said, "You know what, Spoon? I would love to be a fly on the wall just to know what McCarthy and the Joneses were talking about before they signed him." And it brings to this point: is Dak Prescott McCarthy's guy? The way I look at it right now, no, it's not.
Right.
And we've seen around the league that every coach wants their own quarterback. Kirk Cousins was tagged. Is he a Redskins? No. Drew Brees was tagged. Is he a Charger? No.
Oh.
So, with Dak Prescott, I see the same thing coming on. He'll play this year. Again, if he reaches the Super Bowl on the high performance, then it may be a different thing. But again, quarterbacks don't play defense. I don't know with this new way of some people, and I'm not trying to, get off of anybody, just in general, some folks believe that quarterbacks play defense and offense. No, they do their part. I mean, Dak had a great stat year last year.
Right.
I mean, you can't deny that. Look at the growth from 2016 to last year, and again, under a bad coach. Now, what I do want, I really want answers like everybody else. I did something today, y'all. I came out and I tweeted to Jada Pinkett, Will Smith's lady.
Oh, okay.
And I said, I just want to make sure your boy's Spoon here. This is not an entanglement situation, but I would love for you to bring the Joneses to the red table. It's needed. I mean, to the red carpet. It's needed. We want to know. We want to know the answers. What happened? What's going on? It's like a car salesman. You're trying to sell us a great deal, and a lot of BS. Deadlines make deals. What happened? Now we watching, of course, the other NFL teams. They making great deals with their players in the last minute. But Dak Prescott, I mean, nothing. So I cannot wait for them to come out and speak about this. I can't wait.
Right.
Because it's on the wall. And the one thing I said about distractions, Dak Prescott's brother, he came out and he spoke. And that's the one thing I was saying. If he spoke, and the way he said about being a fan of this team, I could imagine how Dak feels going forward, regardless how the season goes. Does he even want to come back to this team? Does he even want to be here?
Right.
That's going to be the thing.
Right. And you also got to think about, from the brother aspect, Dak losing his brother, man. Like, he's going through a lot right now. Like, why do you want to have all of that bearing down on your franchise quarterback? Like, just, and I tweeted this earlier. It's just like, I've always been a fan of, you do right to those who do right by you. And the Cowboys just missed the mark when it comes to Dak Prescott. And Sid, me and you talked about this too. It's just like, if I'm thinking about it from Dak Prescott's lens, though, could COVID have played a part in him taking the franchise dagger, the possibility of us not even having a season, and maybe that's going to kind of give him his loophole to revisit this contract next season again.
When it comes to the COVID, though, here's my thing. Cowboys get the deal done. It's your franchise quarterback. Nobody has a problem getting the face of their franchise done. I mean, could it be something there? I think maybe it held up some of the process. Sure, I will buy into that, Tug. But at the end of the day, I mean, Derrick Henry got done today, no problems, right? I mean, and we saw Tannehill get paid. All right, we saw. And another thing to throw a monkey wrench in this thing, and I said it when it happened. When Mahomes signed a 10-year deal, the Cowboys said back and said, well, damn, we wanted a 7-year deal. And now we're bickering over 5 and 4, but Mahomes just took this, 10-year deal, So maybe a little bit something there. I'm not completely going to get all the way off of that suck, but I think if it's your guy and you believe in him, you pay him and move on. It didn't stop them from getting the Cooper deal done.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man, 100%. I just want to jump into the chat here. Want to send a shout out to Jason Jeremy, my homie, all the way out from Halifax. He asks, so why in heaven's name did it take so long to close the deal? Like, why do y'all play chicken?
That's just Stephen Jones' way. He just thinks he can wave the wand, get him on the phone, and get it done. And here's the thing: you're not Jerry. Like, at the end of the day, Jerry was the before he kind of gave these reins away to Stephen and kind of turned more into a mouthpiece. Jerry would get the deal, the art of the deal per se. He would get it done. And Stephen has this belief that I can get it done at the last second if I get him on the phone. And maybe some of Jerry's popped that into him, but it's a different player now. This isn't the mid-'90s, early 2000s. It's a different player now with the social media platforms and the outlets and stuff that they have. So this idea, like, I'll just pop them on here real quick and get it done, and this whole idea, we'll keep leaking stuff to the media and it'll be all right. Well, no, these players have their own voice now, whether it's IG, Twitter, wherever the case. I mean, you got Cam, he's doing YouTube specials out here, in videos and stuff. It's a different league. It's a different play. It's a different thing than what it was where you could release stuff through the media and the players never could say anything because, oh, well, shucks, there's no, Twitter or Facebook.
Right. And when you go through the whole smear campaigns, like, we went through it with Dez, with the Dez tape and the Zeke Who and, Dak Prescott's greedy now, like, it's tearing down your own brand of players. So I don't understand what's the thought process behind this. Like, just keep it quiet, talk business, and get the deal done. Move on to football. It's really simple.
That's what most,
you know what's,
you guys noticed that most other teams,
Yeah.
they did this all behind closed doors. Once the deal was done, it was released. Dallas Cowboys always gotta be.
Hey, 2 days ago.
I live here in Kansas City. I had no idea about the Mahomes thing. I was just shocked as just everyone else. It just
right, because the Mahomes thing got broken by a lady on Twitter who worked at the daggum liquor store when the affiliates came in there was buying bottles. She's like, "Oh snap, something's happening." Right. That's the only reason it kind of broke the way it did. And just 2 days ago, it was out there. Oh, Derrick Henry's going to play on the tag, and then literally in less than 48 hours, boom. He got a big contract.
And then on top of that, when you look at it, folks are out there looking at spot track about, look at the cap situation. Mahomes gets paid, right? Chris Jones comes out and says, I'm going to play this year, right? All of a sudden, bam, breaking news, he gets paid off a lot of money. People on spot track, wait, how? You can always manipulate the cap. So when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, there's no excuse. If you wanted to pay them, you could pay them. Listen, didn't we have about $20 million cap space through the whole season last year?
Didn't do nothing.
We did nothing with them. We had the money. He's tagged. Listen, him being signed long term, the Cowboys could have got better. It would have released some more cap space, about between like 9, 11 million. You would have like a total of 20, 21. You could have made other moves if you wanted to. Right. Now it's a done deal.
Well, and even the back door on that, just take the Chiefs, Rams, and Eagles after their rookie season, the quarterbacks, man, they went all in on their team. And they're like, we got them cheap now. And we had Dak cheaper than any of those. Those three guys were first-round picks. Right. And what were we doing? We were signing the Stephen Pias of the world.
Right.
You're right. And now that Dak drug all these bum players that y'all kept re-signing and trying to plug and play, and we build through the draft, we don't spend in free agency, and we're going to sit on $20 million and then say, all right, Dak, now you're going to take a lesser deal than all these other guys that they went in to help them to get a team to get them. I mean, at the end of the day, Wentz was injured and a backup took that team, which means there's a team built around him to the Super Bowl. And who knows? Look, Dak shouldn't have played against Philly last year. The shoulder was bad. He didn't practice all week. The hand was busted. It hurts him because people say, oh, look at the Philly game. Right. Well, we had a competent backup. Dak wouldn't have had to play that game.
Right. The Dallas Cowboys, man. Just the cap. That's the thing.
I just hope they got some plan down the road that will put a smile to all of us and go, I get it. This right here is hard to get.
Yeah, if my phone goes off and it's like the Cowboys have made a move and now acquire Jamal Adams or something like that, like, okay, all right, cool. We're back.
Hold
on. Don't bring that.
That's it about first. Hey, I'm here.
Watch this.
Tuck, don't do that to me, Tuck. Tuck, I just came up. I just looked up my hashtag the Route 33 poster this morning. Don't do that to me, Tuck. Oh my God.
But guess who killed that deal as well? Stephen Jones. Because after they didn't get the deal done last year at the trade deadline, what did they do? Leak it out there. Oh, well, the Jets wanted a first and an offensive lineman and burnt the bridge with that organization. So that's why I'm like, Jamal Adams isn't going to come here because you burnt the bridge in the media smearing the Jets and how you couldn't get him.
Right.
Yeah, to be the Dallas Cowboys and America's team, man, there sure is a lot of leaks that gets out.
A ton.
Yeah.
Man, J Tuck, you have no idea. There's one name you don't want to mention in this stream right now is Adams. All right. Listen, he's already frustrated about Dak. Let's not. His blood level is gonna go through the roof.
My bad.
That's all good, man. Listen, I had a post every time I heard his name.
Do you have your paper around? Bring your paper. No. Did you throw it all away now?
Yeah, it's all garbage. It's in the garbage, man.
He had a Route 33 printed paper, hashtag Route 33. He was for sure hoping that Adams wasn't making his way over here to the Dallas Cowboys, and we all know that is not happening anymore either.
No dogs in the secondary, man. Y'all know the
you lost two bets. You lost two bets in one day. You lost to Knicks and you lost to me because you know there ain't no jersey coming now.
Yeah. No, actually 3 now, because now I've also bet Knicks with Mary that if Jamal Adams doesn't is not traded by the season, he's not a Cowboy by week 1 of the season. It's $20 a piece. So that's coming. That's
Ouch
coming
bag.
too. So
Ouch bag.
my mom always said to don't bet.
Can I get in on that bet? Can I get in on
No,
that?
I'm done. I'm retiring betting as of today. I'm gonna be retired.
Yeah, man. Listen, let's just jump into the little chat right now. Jerry Jones is a flash guy. Always has been. We all know that. That's
here's my thing. Here's my thing with that. Jerry has to come to terms. He ain't got much time left. And so it's like, you trying to stretch out the cap and worry about the Cowboys' future. Even Jerry years ago used to be all in. This is go all in. So right now it feels like he's being more conservative, and it feels like that's the Stephen Jones approach, because Stephen Jones is going to be next up. But if I'm Jerry, I'm like, hey man, we ain't got 4 to 5 years. So if Dak wants 4 years, let's let it rip. Let's build off and win with this team that we have in place right now.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, definitely think that I've talked about a bunch, and I'm somewhat flabbergasted by it, because Jerry's definitely on the wrong side of age, and we know how hungry he is to get one more before he gets up out of here, and the way this team's set with the coaching staff and stuff, why not go all in, secure your quarterback? Look, go pick up another piece, whether that's Everson Griffin, whether that's a Clowney, whether that's make the trade for Jamal, whatever that other piece they feel in-house can put them over the top. You would think at this point, Jerry's like, all right, Steven, look, I get it. You're a little, you want to pull the reins in more than what I did. We all know the story about whenever he wanted to sign Dion and how Steven put him up against the wall, the whole 9. But Dion put you over the hump and got you a Super Bowl.
Right.
And I'm very surprised at this point that it would seem on the outside looking in, we're pretty close, and we're still kind of stumbling around and not really pressing that button to go all in.
Right. And Nix, you mentioned this earlier, being in the honeymoon stage, and everything was going right until today. And it felt like everything was saying that we're going in for a Super Bowl this year with the draft, the way we drafted. We drafted CeeDee Lamb, which is instant impact over really a need. So everything was lining up, and then we got to the most important piece of the puzzle and just said, nah, we're cool. We'll do it next year.
Hey, you notice how quiet it is on Twitter today with guys like Des Bryant, Jamal Adams, and players who really respond while the guys get contracts. I think Dak not getting paid is like, yo, are we serious?
Right.
This thing impacted more than just Cowboys fans. I think it impacted the football world. They're scratching their heads like, what's going on? And again, just like Tuck says, once Garrett was let go and we got McCarthy, it was like, okay, the off season, what we need fatties. Okay, even though they were bargain shop, but they were very good bargain shoppers.
Right.
And hey, we got them fatties. The NFL draft, I know we all did some mock drafts and stuff like that, but we know out of everybody's mind, especially BJ, because that's the ringleader with CeeDee Lamb. What happened? We all hopped in the train and said, listen, if we get CeeDee Lamb, automatic. And what happened on draft night? Oh, we were all celebrating. Great draft. It was like when you
and not forget, hey, they tried to trade up for Diggs in the second round, couldn't get the deal done, sat right there and still got Diggs even.
Right.
So it was like everything came in the right place. It feels like when you go to it's like if you go to an ice cream shop and you want a banana split, you got the works being done. The cherry on top is Dak being signed long term. You don't get the cherry, so you're pissed off. It's not a complete banana split. Right now, this is not complete. It's not complete right now. Even though he's here this year, it don't feel complete because we know next year it's question marks. What are we going to do? Is it going to be Andy Dalton? Is it going to be Ben DiNucci? We don't know.
Yeah, but I do think for the knee-jerk reaction right now, I do think people need to understand and kind of come back to reality a little bit. Understand, hey, look, Dak's going to be here. And I've heard a lot of this. I've seen this on Twitter, some on Instagram. I think I've even seen it in the chat right here. It's like, man, well, is Dak really going to go for it if it's 3rd and 3 and stuff like that? Yep. Be clear. If you've ever played the game, once you step in between those white lines and them, man, that all that other stuff kind of leaves. You're playing the game at that point. And look, He did it last year, and I didn't. Did you see anything where you thought he was tentative at any point? I don't think so, and I don't think it's going to be any different this year because Dak's built differently. Maybe some other players might be that way, but everything that you ever seen from Dak from the beginning of his career in Dallas and moving forward, he stood tall. He's delivered, good or bad, and I've never seen a game where you saw Dak make a business decision, if you will.
I think Dak will, and I've been thinking about this ever since the whole not signing thing. I'm thinking to myself, man, if I'm Dak, and I think he's gonna come into the season with a chip on his shoulder. I honestly think he's gonna come out with a vengeance, and he's gonna say, "Hey, I'm a better man than this, and I'm gonna come out and show exactly what you guys need me to do, and I'm gonna come out there and get that championship." I think he's gonna push for it. Why not?
I personally disagree with that because I think Dak did that last season. And it's just like, like I said, we're all human, man. We have jobs and stuff, and we busted our tail for a whole year to get a raise, and all of a sudden we didn't get a raise and saw everyone else get a raise. That next year, man, I'm coming in late probably. I'm taking extra long to lunch.
Well. $2 million versus $31 million. I don't think he's taking a pay cut here now. He played last year for $2 million. He is getting $31.4 million this year. It is a raise. It's not now. The difference is it's raise, but it's not security. Now that part I do buy. It's not security because it's a 1-year deal. You're getting $31 million, but that's why I also back there and say the reason I think he's going to play that way is because he's just built differently. I don't think it's going to bother him as much. Is he pissed off? Absolutely, human nature. But I think once he's in camp and things are rolling and he's looking to chase that championship, I don't think that's really going to affect his play on the field. Because, again, he has to play well to go get the deal anyways.
But here's the deal. Here's the thing, though. Time after time, when you hear all the good things from the Joneses, oh, he's my quarterback, oh, he's this, oh, he's that, X, Y, and Z. Now that it was time to prove that. Right. The action was today to prove that. Going forward, yes, he's going to play well. But the relationship is not going to be any good. And then guess what's going to happen? Going forward, when it's time to want to pay him, he's not going to want to be here. And at that time, he's going to have a lot more to say, a lot more to do. So at this time right now, I look at it like this. This is only Dak. I love Dak. He's my guy. But in my opinion, he's a rental piece for this year. Next year, he is done. And at the end of the day, he's human. He's a human being. The things he went through this offseason, combined with now security, again, and I keep saying it, playing on your last year of your deal to try to get a new contract versus playing on a deal with no security going forward. Right. It's kind of like it's not really the same to me. Because at the end of the day, now you got your 31 in your pocket. That's a lot of money. A lot of money that we probably never going to see. But at the end of the day, okay, security minded, I gotta make sure I do well so that way I don't get hurt for the next game. Now, perfect example, the Eagles game. Exactly. The Rams game, he got the shoulder injury. It's a little tweak. It's fine. The way he was talking, X, Y, and Z. He played bad in the Eagles thing because of his shoulder. Right.
And but he could have sat though.
No, but here's the thing, though.
But he believed in the organization back then.
Yeah, there you go.
Or he wanted to be on the field. See, we don't know. See, we can look at that in two different ways. Y'all said you believe in the organization, go out there and play, do whatever. I look at it as like, no, I'm a competitor. That's my mindset. I'm going to go out here and play. Now, sometimes the organization has to protect a player from himself. I do agree on that.
But regardless how you look at it, you can say however you being competitive. All that's good. At the end of the day, is he going to get paid the money that he really wants with coming off an injury? So now going forward, he's going to think to himself, can I do the thing that Dak would do on certain things? Should I go run for that first down, X, Y, and Z? It's a conscious thing. It's a mindset. It's a mental thing. And guess what? He's a human being. We all know he's a leader and everything, but there's going to be a time where he's going to have to think twice and say, because at the end of the day, in order for him to get that big contract, he got to be healthy. Again, he got tagged. Even though he knew he was going to get tagged. Either I get signed or get tagged. Right? He got tagged. But going forward, you get hurt, that big contract, if the Cowboys would not give you the tag next year between 37 and 38 mil, if they won't even give you that this year, what makes you think they're going to tag you with that next year?
Right.
So right now you have to perform for the new team, but at the same time you want to get off being healthy.
Right,
Well,
and that's probably the same advice his agent's going to give him as well.
What I do know is this: if you step in between them lines and you're not going 100 miles an hour and you're thinking, that's when you get hurt. And I mean, obviously, we will definitely notice on the play. Well, if we have games this year, let's knock on some wood, guys.
Right.
If we have some games this year, it'll be very easy to tell if Dak is making business decisions or not. I don't think he will personally. I don't think his makeup, his DNA is that way. Whenever they talk and you hear like even a Kayvon Frazier that came out and tweeted today and talked about, man, what he brings to the locker room, the way he plays and stuff like that, you know, you can't, like, that's him. You can't take that, like, you know, backdooring like how good he is on that. I think his DNA is not going to allow him to play any different way. Now, again, we'll see. We got games, we'll see, you know. But yeah, as far as that goes, I just don't. To me, he hasn't shown anything to me that tells me, well, I'm gonna get off the gas some. But we'll see, though. We'll see for sure.
I mean, because you got to look at it from Dak's perspective, man. Just look across, you know, what's going on with Cam Newton. You sit back and think like, damn, Cam gave his body, sacrificed everything, took them to a Super Bowl, and now he's getting $500,000. And so I don't have any long-term security with my contract. So I'm not about to throw out my shoulder. I'm not about to dive on my neck to get in this end zone. Damn that. Once I get paid, then we'll come back. So I think the thing is people are like, Dak has to perform for his next team. A lot of NFL teams know what Dak's capabilities are. They understand the situation. So a team like, let's say, the Redskins, if Dak was to hit the market right now, they'd be like, hell yeah, we'll take him. You know, so I feel like Dak doesn't really have anything to prove. It's really just what does the Cowboys want from Dak? And I feel like anything they can ask for, he's already shown. And asking for a Super Bowl is irresponsible and reckless on the Cowboys' behalf and unfair.
I do agree. Let me let me backdoor and ask you this real quick, and kind of spin it a little different way. In that locker room, and to me, this is where I get worried. In that locker room, how are they going to proceed that going forward with the new coaching staff, and how's that going to mesh? Because we're not going to have preseason games and stuff like that. Those, to me, are the bigger. See, I don't worry so much about Dak and what he's going to do on the field. I worry more about the effectiveness into the locker room and how that permeates no matter what, and with a new coaching staff and how that meshing is going to happen. That's something that worries. Is that something that y'all see on the radar that worries y'all, or do you think it's more or less they're going to show up when it's time and play, and they're not, and that's going to be out of their head?
Okay. Yeah, I feel like the team will rally. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, man. I was just gonna say, there's two things. There's two factors that people need to realize as well. We got a whole new coaching staff coming into the season. I think Mike McCarthy's already been on the phone with Dak already today, because I think Mike McCarthy has done great thing with Aaron Rodgers. And he's going to do great things with Dak. And I don't think that Mike McCarthy is going to let Dak slide. And, you know, he's going to get to him and say, hey, we got something to do. I've worked with great QBs. This is what I need you to do going into the season. And I guarantee you, if you do the things that I'm asking you to do and you get us to that promised land, that I guarantee you'll get the money that's deserved.
If I'm Dak Prescott, I'm hitting the ignore button on you, fam.
I'm not even trying to hear that, because if that was the case, you'd have got this deal done for me now. Don't tell me what you need now. You would have got it done for me now.
This is the first year that Mike McCarthy has no pull right now, guys.
Yeah, he absolutely does. He's the new head coach of the Cowboys.
No, he has a pull.
Do you think that he could have went to Jerry Jones and said, I need you to get this contract done?
Absolutely.
Then why didn't he?
Absolutely.
Then why didn't he?
That's my point of why I've said from the jump, I think there's something there with McCarthy why this deal didn't get done.
Mike McCarthy came to the Dallas Cowboys because of Dak. Because of Zeke.
Says who?
Oh, come on, guys.
I'm going to give you – I'm sorry, Todd. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's what you heard, Sid. What's probably going on is they're probably giving Mike McCarthy a season to kind of see how his relationship is with Dak, and can he work with this? Because if Mike McCarthy comes in as the brand new coach of the Dallas Cowboys and says, I want Dak Prescott, I came here for Dak, it's done right now.
It's done deal.
It's
exactly.
Done right now.
That's why I've always said I wanted to be there in the Joneses when they had the Johnny Walker Blue Label flowing. They're having I guess maybe they're roasting some marshmallows in the fireplace, and they were having this grand old talk. and everything about this team, and then they come out and hire him, right, and they get the deal done, cool. That's fine. If McCarthy came and said, okay, I'm coming here, just like Tuck said, if Dak's my guy, the deal's already done. This is why, to me, it's always kind of stunk a little bit, because I think McCarthy has more of a hand in this than people want to realize. And at the end of the day, McCarthy's the new head coach. The Cowboys Nation's going to be like, thank God. Garrett's gone, and we got a Super Bowl winning coach in this thing? Oh my God. So they're not going to shoot. The Joneses are Teflon. They take bullets all day long.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be the bad guys in this whole Dak situation, even though McCarthy's we got this new thing now, the story villain, but the actual villain.
Right.
The story villain is the Joneses, but quite possibly the actual villain in this thing
Mike McCarthy.
was Mike McCarthy. Because here's the thing, think about this for a second, and let's go down the line. When they got to free agency, they didn't bargain shop, they just paid bargain process for guys, and they got back. Look, they went and got name D tackles. They went and got a former first-round defense safety. Right? They got guys that can play in this league, not the Pias of the world that I mentioned earlier, or let's go get a David Irvin and see what we can do with him. Then you got to the draft. What did you hear from Willie McClay? And Willie We Trust is my hashtag. Mooney, we use that all the time.
Yeah.
He told McClay, hey, player over scheme. Yep. And you saw that transcend through the draft. Player over scheme, right? So he's had all this influence everywhere that we've seen leading up to this, and then Dak doesn't get done, and we think McCarthy didn't have a hand in it? No way, no how.
Right. Hey, listen, to piggyback on that one, he was the one who said CeeDee Lamb, when CeeDee Lamb was available, he said, I changed my vote. He's available. Let's get CeeDee Lamb.
And they asked him, and the story goes, they said, hey, McCarthy goes, no, bring me Lamb. And that's on record.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And listen, even the question he was asked during the press conference when it was a little bit after the press conference. It was basically when he got all the coaches involved, hired and everything, and had that little interview. They asked him about Dak's contract. He says, well, that's a management thing right now. I'm sure that'll get done. But as far as a quarterback, he's a good – he barely even touched anything on Dak.
Yeah.
Barely even touched anything on Dak. So, again, that's why I feel he will not be here after this season, regardless regardless.
Right.
He's not here.
And it's go off of that, Spoony, man. And I said this, when we signed Andy Dalton. Something was kind of funny with that Andy Dalton deal, man. It wasn't just because he just wanted to stay home in Dallas. It was probably like, look, man, this is our situation with Dak. There's a possibility he might not be here next year. So, Mike McCarthy really likes you, blah, blah, blah. There had to have been something in the works with Andy Dalton to get him to come to Dallas to be a backup for this low price. And I feel like that's something we should watch out, is maybe that the Cowboys are thinking is like, hey, if Dak was to move on, that we can keep the ship still rolling with Andy Dalton at a lot cheaper premium. So there's a lot going on, man. And today really solidified that.
Yeah. And whenever we signed Dalton, I came out and said, man, this is leverage. People said, "Oh no, you're crazy.
Yeah,
that's not leverage and stuff." And I'm like, "No, it's leverage because here's the thing: if Dak, here's the thing that it did. It made Dak at least sign the tag to come in and play. Because if he goes to pull the Le'Veon Bell, well, I'm going to wait till week 8 or 9, then I'll sign to come in. Well, it's okay. We got Dalton here to lead this ship and see where we're at. And absolutely, I believe that Dalton for sure. I said it early. I got chastised a little bit for it. I think I'm with you, Tuck, today as we see it come and go, and he's on the tag. Absolutely, it was leverage for them.
Right.
Yeah, man. We have different opinions. Everybody has different opinions about this whole situation. As you notice, I'm gonna have my man's back. As you notice, I'm wearing his jersey. I'm not gonna say that Dak's not gonna be with us. I still think he's the future of the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't think he's going anywhere. But let's just jump in the chat for a minute. Want to send out a shout out to my boy Kenton. Kenton said that the Dallas Cowboys basically don't believe in him, and that's why they didn't sign him. Period.
Yep.
Can we give a percentage on it? It's not a 0% they don't believe in him. But I mean, come on, it's not 0%. You're not. I mean, if that was the case, as soon as they signed Eddie Dalton, they would have rescinded the tag and said good luck, go on, or they would have tried to move him. So I'm not going to buy that.
Right. Yeah, they believe in you, just not like Kansas City believes in Pat Mahomes.
There you go. Right. Which is wild, right? I mean, let me ask y'all this, right? I think depending on what flavor of ice cream that you like, Dak's somewhere between 6 and 10 in the league, depending on the ice cream. I find it very hard to believe as I look around this league, and I've watched this game for a long time, that the police are coming for me. I hear something. I don't know. Anyways, but I find it hard to believe that an organization, take the Cowboys out of it, would have this hard of a time trying to figure out, 4-year quarterback, somewhere between 6 and 10. If you want to argue 11, I wouldn't put him past 11. I got him personally. I have him at 8. Personally, I got him 7, 8, and we can't get a deal done. I don't know, guys. I mean, do y'all think he's somewhere that 6 to 10 or?
Yeah, he's right in that 6 to 10, 6 to 8 range is probably where I have him. Like you say, if the and that's the thing, Spoonie said, if the Cowboys wanted to get this deal done, they could have got it done. They've always had the nickname of Jerry Jones the Cap Wizard, and they make money. So if they wanted to get it done, they could have got it done. They just didn't want to get it done.
And also to go on top of that, also, since when does Jerry Jones not get the guy that he wants? I mean, we could go back to history to all the big-time head coaches. Well, let's go back to Parcells when he didn't want T.O. What happened? You see a news conference when the Cowboys signed T.O. What's Parcells? Pissed off, right? It's things of that nature. He does what he wants. Tuck said, just like Tuck said earlier, there's a lot of things you know about Dak. First of all, there's nothing that McCarthy can say about Dak.
Right.
You're watching games. The Joneses, the Cowboy family, they know everything about Dak. They know every single thing. You could call former coaches, ask about Dak Prescott, his preparation, X, Y, and Z. So really, I mean, if they wanted him to be signed, they would have just signed him. I just don't think they really believed in him going forward. I think they only believed in him for the right price that they want him in a discount.
Right.
He wants to get paid like a franchise quarterback, and that's where the issue is at. So what they're going to do is move on from him after this year. In my opinion, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I feel they're going to move on from him after this year.
Yeah, with you saying they're going to move off from him, I want to send a shout out to my man Mark Henry. He's been on a show a few times. We're definitely going to have him back, but he has a good point. Who's going to be the QB if Dak isn't in the card in the future? They don't have anybody else. Guys, do you think that Andy Dalton is the future of the Dallas Cowboys?
Well,
if Dak isn't, come on, now.
Well, if I may, I had a lot of nice warm ones today, and I was just sitting down just thinking, outside the box. So this is where I call. Let's be creative a little bit sometimes here. A little creative over here. Okay, we all know you got Dalton and DiNucci, right? Now we do have. To look at this, you have to look at how you get quarterbacks. NFL draft next year, right? Or look at other team situations where they may have quarterbacks being released or available at the market, or a team that you may have to trade with to get a quarterback. Now, in this case right here, if I'm Dallas, I'm not gonna go to the draft and get me a young quarterback. I got to get me a seasoned veteran guy who can help me win right now. But somebody who's paid off. Now, there's two quarterbacks. Are you going where
I think you're going, man? Go ahead, keep going.
I hate Tuck. Listen, Tuck. I know it's the first time we doing this. And I know BJ after the show is gonna throw something at me, and I know Sid will be looking at me in a different way. But it's an open-minded thing. We got two veteran quarterbacks right now.
Speak your mind, Spoon.
That may be in limbo. Listen, I hate to say it, but can we see a reunion of Aaron Rodgers?
Keep going.
No.
I'm just saying. No, I don't want that. Look, open mind. Hey, the Seattle Seahawks, they don't like to keep high-priced quarterback. They love that system of starting young with a young quarterback with that rookie contract and build up a defense. And Russell Wilson, he's already in his 30s. So those are the two quarterbacks that I'm looking at right now that they have situations on their team that I can see them teams just for the right price. You give me some draft picks, I will let them go to you. Now, Aaron Rodgers, that's history with that's a lot of history with McCarthy.
Yeah, that'll be a rough.
But hey, we've seen how crazy stuff happen in the NFL.
Yeah, that's the thing. Aaron Rodgers didn't have good history with McCarthy at the end.
But my goodness, both of them with these toys that we got, dear God, like, can you imagine Aaron Rodgers with CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Gallup, and Zeke and his own? I mean,
no,
Mike McCarthy and A-Rod won't even have to speak with each other.
No, because I'm imagining Dak with those weapons. That's all I want to think. Number 4, with those weapons. That's it. Aaron Rodgers? No.
Well, see, I thought he was gonna go a different road, man. But the guy that I would have that I was getting slandered for, he went to the Patriots. Like we could,
Cam?
yeah.
I thought I'm with you. I thought about that too.
Yeah. Because I'm okay. I would have been okay taking Cam this season or possibly next season at a low price, as you mentioned, already paid off, with the insurance policy of possibly Andy Dalton. Then we're good. Like I feel like Dak Prescott. Though I love Dak, you give me Dak Prescott or Cam Newton and Andy Dalton. I feel like that puts us in the equal position, if not better.
Right.
And so I was always a fan of bringing Cam in as the backup originally, and it's letting the competition happen. But of course, people don't like competition in Dallas, so like that.
Right.
But so
I mean, I live off the old adage: if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have one quarterback. So I'm not trying to trade two because that'll put me in a better spot than Dak. Now, look, I'm a lover of Cam. However, Cam for 2 seasons has not been healthy. I don't think I can sit here and say, okay, well, I can give the keys over to a Cam Newton in his current position. Now, obviously, there's a situation up there in New England. They have a young guy they believe in. He's going to come in. If he's healthy and does the right things, he's going to get a big payday. That's awesome for him.
Right.
And I wish him the best. Absolutely. It's going to be intriguing to see what they do with him up there. As we know, they make their scheme fit whoever they get. So it's going to be intriguing, especially with Josh McDaniels and what they can do. But I gotta see Cam be healthy. I mean, he didn't even play last year, you know. So, I'm a little off of that. Aaron Rodgers hit 37, 38 by the time he got here with broken collarbones. Didn't we kind of go through with the broken guy with collarbones and back in Romo? I'm out. Now if you want to bend my ear on Russ Wilson, sure.
He's one though.
Sure.
I got another guy.
Now, Russ, I'll walk down the road. I'll walk down the road for Russ.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be here with my guy Sid. Man, it's gonna be number 4. I'm rolling with number.
I got a guy. I got another guy.
Wait. I want to touch on a comment because this is an interesting comment, but I wouldn't do it, but it's interesting. The boy is 2138 again, man. He said, I think the Colts. Oh no, hold up. Let me just find it because
he said Jerry Jones should lure Andrew Luck out of retirement.
That's my guy, Andrew Luck, out of retirement. That's my guy.
Going to have to trade the house.
You think?
I think the Colts hold the rights to him.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not going to give him away. Yeah. He wasn't a free agent and retired. He saw years left. But you're going to give up the house for him.
I mean, listen. Those are. Here's my thing. After Dak Prescott,
he's a Texas boy, though. But to backdoor, he is a Texas boy. FYI.
He is. And see, after Dak Prescott, we have to understand to replace Dak. This team wants to get better right off the get. They don't want to go to the draft and start over. So where do you hit? The vets.
Right.
You got to look at a team with a situation with their quarterbacks and target those guys. Listen, I'm going to say this right now. You give me a Russell Wilson, I'm not crying no more. I'm happy. I would listen to all Seattle's music while I'm watching the game. I would do that. You give me Aaron Rodgers. Listen, I have not liked Rodgers for years, but you may warm me up a little bit to him. Just a little bit. But again, you have to go out and look at those type of situations to bring a veteran guy in here who McCarthy's gonna like or McCarthy knows, and go forward with that.
Yeah,
and that's what's frustrating about all this right now is like we have our own Russell Wilson right here in the damn building. Just take care of him. Like I believe Dak is that level. Russell Wilson kind of like this is his
he's a baby Cam. I always called him baby Cam. He can throw the ball better.
Yeah, he has some Cam. He has a lot of qualities of these players already in him. He's already here in the organization. We just didn't do right by him.
I mean, at the end of the day, if personally for me, and what I believe in the quarterback position, it would be this: if Dak plays this year and they're just going to move on, then you have to, whoever that rookie quarterback is that you want to go get, then you got to just pay the piper. You got to sell the farm, move up, and go get that guy and get it started and pair that young guy with McCarthy. The Band-Aid and stuff like that. I'm good on revisiting that. I personally, I just am. Bringing the Russell Wilson. Yeah, sure. I mean, he's in the right range. I don't look. It sounds good. I don't think they're going to move on from him in Seattle. To be honest with you, I mean, bringing in a Cam if he does well up there for a year, go get a 37-year-old Rodgers. I'm good. Go sell the farm. Go get you. If it's Trevor Lawrence, it's Trevor Lawrence. If it's Fields out of Ohio State, then it's Fields out of whoever that young guy is.
That would be.
I'm just saying.
I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah, if you go and get Fields, I'm throwing eggs at that stadium.
It's not my guy. I'm not saying it's my guy. I'm saying whoever McCarthy's guy is, move up the board and go get him. Don't give me no retread. I'm not trying to have another Drew Bledsoe in here again. I'm good with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of the theory. And I always compare Dak kind of to this guy as Alex Smith. I feel like the treatment that Dak gets in Dallas is like what Alex Smith got in Kansas City. So if there's someone that the Cowboys are sold on, possibly next year in the draft, then yeah, I agree. Let's go all in and move up and get that guy. But you better make damn sure that you hit on it. I mean, because you got to think about it. Pat Mahomes got to sit a whole season before he was really able to go and do what he does. So if you don't have that gap, that bridge player in there, then that's a huge setback for the Cowboys, especially with the young talent that we already have in place. I feel like it's very important that we don't waste it. We don't waste, Gallup and Cooper's prime and Jalen Smith and these guys. Like, we have the window opportunity right now. Let's capitalize on it.
And you got a top 10 quarterback you refuse to pay. So here we are.
Right.
Yeah, but guys, you guys are talking about drafting somebody. What draft? If there's no college ball, who are we going to bring up?
There's only one guy. There's only one quarterback in the NFL draft next year that's a for sure thing, and that's Trevor Lawrence, in my opinion.
He's 6'6", it's a no.
What was that?
If he's 6'6", then no.
BJ theory has been correct with 6'6" quarterbacks don't do well in the NFL, but he's the only real deal. If you go get yourself a Fields from Ohio State, you're pretty much getting a Dak Prescott starting all over again. And that's going to make no sense. In my opinion, you got Amari Cooper at $20 million. You got CeeDee Lamb. You got Gallup. You got Zeke. You got a solid very good offensive line. Don't waste it. You cannot waste the time by going to the draft. You have to get yourself another veteran guy to replace Dak Prescott. And that's going to be the thing to look at other teams and find out who may have a quarterback situation where that quarterback will not beat it that following year, or issues. Because that may be the next quarterback on the Cowboys roster once Dak leaves.
Okay, wait. Spoony, I got a question. Do you think Dak has hit his peak?
No. I think he's still progressing.
So you're going to let a guy who hasn't hit his peak go next year for someone. Let's just say the Dallas Cowboys decide to go away from him to go get somebody who's a veteran, who's either banged up, who's not going to take as many chances, who's not going to fight to get, who has no reason to fight to get any more money. He's just going to come on and sign with the Cowboys for a year, let's just say. Do you think that they'll have that same drive that Dak has? That's why I said Dak ain't going nowhere. They're not going
to. But the thing is, with the franchise tag right now, today says a lot. That means that if Dak goes into the season next year, they're going to have to pay him $30 to $39 million, pretty much what he was wanting in the first place. And so the premium for Dak drastically increased now for next season. So will the Cowboys be willing to really pay that? That's what we're questioning. Of course, none of us want Dak to leave.
We all want Dak here.
Yeah. But if the Cowboys are really going to franchise tag Dak this year and then do it again next year, they should just gave him the damn contract for the 4 years, and we could have moved on today.
That's why I say.
And let me interject a couple of things on the business side real quick. One, obviously there is this. If Dak gets tagged 3 straight years, now we know the prohibitive tag is the 3rd year. Most teams don't do it. But if they did do it, it would average to $41 million a year. Now, here's the one key that I don't think nobody's talking about. I do want to bring this up because I haven't heard this anywhere. I haven't seen this anywhere. I researched it myself. Is this number here? And Dak knows this. The Jones know this. And Dak's agent knows this. Yeah, the cap's probably going to stay stagnant because of COVID. We kind of know that. Or it might even regress a little bit. However, do y'all know what's coming up in the year? Is the TV deal. Now, the last TV deal was around $10 billion, and each team got $250 million. That's going to double, which means next year's cap is going to be wonky. after next year's cap, for the next 5 or so years, this thing is going to skyrocket. And that's something else that's kind of playing a little bit of chicken with is when this money's going to come down and what's going to happen there. To me, I think Dak's going to be here long term. I think what's going to happen is this. I think he's going to play on the tag and be fine. I think it's going to be another tag. And then when the cap opens up, he's going to get a huge payday. By that time, he's going to be about 28. It'll be a 7 or 8 year deal, and he's going to get a big payday. Now, I hope and wish and pray that a long-term deal gets done next year. I don't know because, again, one thing that's going to throw a monkey wrench in this is Deshaun Watson's about to get paid.
Right.
It's going to happen before Dak comes up again, for sure. But I think my gut feeling tells me, as we see here now, and then we'll get in here so we have a season of stuff, I think Dak is going to be here for the long term.
Yeah, I think the Watson deal is going to say a lot, too.
Yeah, I agree.
And on the flip side, if you look at next year's free agency quarterbacks, you throw up.
Of course.
You throw up. So it has to be.
If you're going anywhere, you're going to be. Yeah, if you want to acquire a quarterback to take this thing over, you're going to spend some bread or some draft capital here for sure to go get somebody in here.
Yeah,
or
you know what?
Or you re-sign Andy, and then you got to spend draft capital to go get a young guy to sit behind Andy for a year.
Right. I mean, it's like I said before, they could have got him this year, secured him. They don't want him. And
yeah, they screwed the pooch. Yeah, there's no ifs or buts. This whole front office, this whole situation, this whole show that we're talking about, the show we did earlier, unequivocally is on Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones not getting this done. And it leads all these different scenarios and conversations that we're having, and it's not even 24 hours past. What are we? 6 hours past the deadline, and we know he's tagged now and everything. And it's going to be something that continues for the entire year. It's going to happen. Every single incompletion or interception or fumble or whatever the case may be, it's going to be consistently brought up. Well, if he was long term, that would have happened, or if he happens to slide, if he slides a yard short of a first down, then we're going to be back to y'all's point. Y'all going to look at me and say, "Nix, we told you he ain't laying out for that extra yard now," and that's going to be brought up consistently for sure, no doubt.
That's exactly what I said earlier, man. Everything the media is going to have a field day with this throughout the season.
Right. Wait till tomorrow.
Wait
till tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm just not looking. I'm looking and I'm not looking forward to it. To be honest with you, I just don't know what's gonna happen. My hands are in the air and I'm just like, well, let's just wait till the season starts, you know. And then the other rumor that I heard, and I don't know if you heard this, Nix. I heard that they're planning on possibly canceling preseason totally.
Yeah, that's on the. As they're negotiating the NFLPA and the NFL office, I mean, they're talking about the NFLPA don't want to play any preseason games right now. I know there's a couple teams that came out. Even if there is any games, the Green Bay Packers came out and said they're not having any fans at preseason games. They've also said, like, their family night and stuff like that, like they're not going to have any fan interaction during the offseason. No training camp, no nothing. You know, usually we draw big crowds for our training camp. I'm going to go ahead and follow suit and say it's not going to happen here. But Green Bay's already out ahead of that, saying that. I do know somebody who automatically got their money refunded. They had the week 1 tickets for the Rams versus Cowboys, and automatically they didn't ask for a refund. Automatically got refunded. So there's some things on the horizon that we're going to find out. Again, I've said it all along as well. I don't know if we're going to have a season. I know Spoon's kind of like he thinks we are. It might just get a little delayed. But I
like wings too, man. So I'll go ahead and say we're not going to have no season.
I think it's going to come down to I know the one big thing with the NFLPA is that if the players get COVID, the players want the NFL teams to treat the players as for them to get paid as an NFL injury. And not just COVID, where it's an excuse not to pay him for that week of being off. That's the main conversation going on. But other than that, listen, I will say there's going to be a season. Now, as far as finishing a season, starting right on time, no, I can't predict that. But there's going to be a season. There's going to be a season.
And then, of course, you got other things too, like you saw the little mock-up where you have this kind of like mask that's covering and everything. J.J. Watt said he won't play at all if that's the case. And then even to double down even on some of that, I mean, guys, imagine this. All right, well, pick a team, whatever. Seattle, since we're talking about, Russell Wilson's got COVID. Well, that's a minimum 2 games he's going to miss, maybe 3. Right. This makes the logistics of this season, to me, I just don't know how they can do it. Now, obviously, they're pressing forward. We'll see. And I will imagine how the NBA goes off and how baseball comes back and happens will probably play into this. But, I mean, my God, imagine you got, 3 guys on the offensive line for said team all of a sudden has COVID.
Right.
So, I know we're talking Cowboys, but there was a breaking news today about a vaccine being, I forgot the name of it, approved. So look forward to that as well. I'm just saying, politics takes over, man.
I mean,
so
that sounds good, but I don't want to touch on that personally.
Because my thing, man, compared to the NBA and Major League Baseball is they've had a plan of action in place. The NFL doesn't have a plan of action. It's been
zero.
Like, and I said this, on the last show, Sid, it's just season as usual, and they're slowly dripping things off. As you said, Knicks, man, the refund for the tickets. Like one of my good friends, he's a season ticket holder for the Rams, and he's got his money refunded.
Oh, wow. There you go. Another. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so they're for that opening game and everything. So he got all his money refunded. They're doing it here in Kansas City. But it's like the NFL won't come out and just say, hey, we're not going to be able to have fans this season, NFL season. This is what we're going to do. We're going to try to keep players in the bubble. None of that. It's just really been they keep things as is, and they slowly reveal things out. I mean, the Hall of Fame game, from training camp to preseason, and time is running out in the NFL, and there's still no plan of course of action. At least the NBA has tried with the whole Disney bubble and Major League Baseball and different things like that, but the NFL doesn't have a plan.
No,
with the NBA,
unfortunately, that's always the problem. And that's the whole problem with the NFL, period. And we can get into different things, whether we're talking about the best of all and stuff like that. The NFL has always been a reactive league, not a proactive league.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that's always put them behind the 8 ball in whatever situation that we talk about. They're just always reactive and not proactive. And this is something that if they don't get ahead of, we're not going to have a season. And there's no plan. There's no plan. You're right.
And it would take a lot of thought to get that done. 1 month is going to be enough.
No, not at all, man.
That's why I'm saying you could definitely expect a season delay. So instead of starting the first week of September, you can see start the end of September, something like that. Listen, let's see what happens.
Whoa! They do have a plan. I'm sorry. Wait. NFL does have a plan. You can't swap jerseys at the end of a game. That's your plan. That's the plan. Play the whole game against each other, smash each other, tackle. But hey, don't social distance after the game, not swap jerseys. That's their plan so far.
Yeah, at least hand sanitize the jersey first. Man.
Right.
Oh, God.
Man, I'm just not looking forward to how this is going to be handled, man, because like you guys keep saying, there's so much risk going into the season. So much.
Yeah.
Across the board.
I'm okay with them just pushing it back until next year because, like I said, my worst fear is for it to be September. We start off, we play the Rams in some type of game. We see what this Cowboys team looks like, and then that's the end of it. Like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want that. Like,
why?
No teasing.
Because like I said, it's worse. I would rather just be pushed back and maybe start the football back in next spring or something like that, and then we go from there. But to start it, to cancel it, to delay it, to do these different things, I don't want that. Like I said, I'm a huge college basketball fan. If we're to get right to March Madness and see what type of team we had here in Kansas, for it to just be stop. You're just like,
we're done.
Yeah, we're done. That's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, just make sure. And if we're to push it back to maybe like February or March, start the season with that, I'm okay. I mean, it's been long enough in 2020. What is a few months gonna hurt? But like I said, there's no plan of action. Cause the NBA even trying to pull this thing off, it's going to be a miracle. And they have a plan of action versus the NFL. So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay positive.
Right, and of course, even on that, like I'm here in Texas, like high school football is king. UIL's already came out and said, just go and prepare. We're not going to have high school football this year.
Right.
And you're seeing all the colleges saying everything but football's already kind of pushed back or canceled. Like they're holding on to the hope they're going to be able to do this. And at the end of the day, I just don't see it. And I'm with you. I don't want to see us trot out there against the Rams and all of a sudden we look like we're primed and ready. And we go over there and beat them 35-17 real quick and make easy work of it and be like, all right, guys. I know it looks good.
Yeah,
but
there was 35 COVID outbreaks in the Cowboys locker room. We're gonna push the season back. We're gonna revamp after Thanksgiving. Like, no, I don't want all that. Man.
Wait, I'm gonna. Go ahead.
Hold on, real quick. And also, you're already seeing this. soft tissue injuries. Get ready. They're happening now because you're watching players all of a sudden that have been in a bubble because we had to lock down across the United States. You're seeing them try to train and get ready for camp, and you're seeing ACLs. You're seeing you're seeing all these different things, and that's going to be another thing that's going to happen continuously as we move forward. Go ahead, Sid. I'm sorry to cut you off there, brother.
No, it's good, man. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying, I don't want to see a year be taken off because I think a year will hurt these players. This to keep in guys, a whole year. Do you think these guys will be out there training and trying to make sure they remain in shape and everything? You could just imagine what next season would look like and how much the injuries would be up there.
It's going to be the same. I mean, it's going to be the same now. And think about the players who've been sitting around, eating around COVID quarantine snacks, and we're going to cancel out all preseason, just toss them in September 13th, opening game, and say, go play football?
Yeah.
Like, your body's not going to adapt because, of course, it's not going to be hard hitting during training camp. And so you're just going to toss them out in the middle of a season. Like, there's going to be so many injuries, especially these rookies. Yeah, I mean, think about some of these rookies haven't played football for since probably like last year in November. You know? And so just to toss them out there in the middle of this, like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I would rather let these players get fully trained, have a full preseason, have a full training camp without all these restrictions and different things, and really put them out there to put their best foot forward. You're just tossing them out there just for the sake of tossing them out there. Not only you're subjecting them to COVID, but also just the injuries. Like, there's going to be so many just dumb injuries, like player after player. That's why I'm in the gym just getting ready, just in case they call me, man.
Here's the deal, though. I'm sorry, BJ, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Spoon.
No, I was going to say the NFL and the NFLPA had came up with a solution on some of that stuff where there's going to be a deadline in place for players. If they decide not to play this year, there's a deadline for them to sign up for it. Now, I don't know what's the language as far as them getting paid for the year, but players can choose if they want to sit out during the season.
Because something odd that's going on this season, no one's really talking about. Has any rookie signed this year?
Yeah, a couple of days. I know today Derwin, not Derwin James, the LSU safety signed with the Browns, and I know Jeff Okudah signed with Detroit just last week. So
has any of our guys signed?
No. None of our guys.
We always late. Cowboys always late.
We usually do it the week before camp for whatever reason.
Yeah,
but none of our guys have. But
because I know Diggs and CD were at the start trying on uniforms. I'm like, well, you might want to ink your name first before you.
You know, get your
money first before you pose in your uniform.
I mean, for sure. But it's so wild. I mean, and I said, and I get your point. Like, you're taking a year off of, say, a Tom Brady who's at 43 now. You're taking the year off of Aaron Rodgers who's 36. We're looking at Drew Brees at 41. And you're taking a year away from him. You're going to take these rookies who haven't played since last year, and it's going to be a full calendar year basically before they get to play any football again, and it does set everything back. But at a certain point, the NFL has to stand by that. I know it's lip service from the NFL that we're putting players first as far as their health is, but here's a great opportunity for them to actually say it and mean it.
And that's the thing. It's like the NFL for so long has been this big, evil, money-hungry corporation, and they want to break away from that. But if they were to cram people in these stadiums, fans, everything as normal, when people are out of work and different things like that, schools are closed, we're going to have football like I tweeted today, so you're not going to be able to take your kids to school, but you can take them to a football game? That doesn't make sense. So it's like they're really going to have to just put their best foot forward, say, hey, we're not going to have any fans. We're going to try to have a season the best way possible. But if not, I mean, we all understand there's tons of stuff we all want to do that we can't do right now. We're going through a pandemic. So
and it's hard because, unlike the NBA, the rosters are smaller. The NFL, the rosters are so big. The rosters are so big. And you've expanded the rosters with the new CBA deal now.
Right.
And then it's hard to say, okay, we're going to put all you guys in the bubble in a particular place and do this thing. Like, it's just – there's just not really a way to do it, unfortunately. And that's the other catch-22 in this as it comes to us having a season next year in the NFL. And then, of course, litigation is going to happen. But does this count a year against your contract? You get an accrued year. How do you get paid? Man, there's so much litigation that's going to go on. And that's what the NFL is trying to avoid. Like, be clear. the NFL is trying to have this season irregardless, and there's a plan out there also, I guess, to have like the tarps of the first however many roles with sponsors, on there, whatever. That's fine, whatever. But they're trying to find a way not to have to get to this litigation with these contracts, and that's really, to me, what it's more about than them actually worried about playing a season.
Right. I'll tell you this right now. They did a great job with the NFL draft. As again, I've been going to the draft since '98 when Peyton Manning, Charles Woodson, and Ryan Leaf was drafted, and they did a great job of doing this year's NFL draft without no fans and stuff like that. A little too family oriented, but it was really nice. Hey, listen, if you have I know right now for the same teams, the first eight rows will be empty seats. They asked for ticket holders basically this year because I guess they want to control the seats now. Like I think every other 3 seats or whatever. But if you're gonna do all that and have no fans, I want the players mic.
Right.
I want to hear the players talk during the action. I want to hear the F-bombs drop. I want to hear
this ain't HBO. That's not going to happen.
It's like back in the days when we all watched football. We was all playing the game or watching the game on the sidelines, and you just hear just the talking garbage. That's what I want to hear.
Right.
But listen, I have a couple of tweets. I don't know if you guys seen about Clarence Hill Jr. I'm gonna read this one real quick. It says, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys didn't get a deal done, but it's wrong to say Cowboys weren't trying to pay Dak or don't believe in Dak. They weren't being cheap, but they didn't go far enough to his liking as maybe they should have. Both can be true. Then John Williams came out and said, this is what BJ said earlier, the Cowboys tagged Tank twice. Less than a month after the second tag, they got a deal done. So those are the two trending tweets right there by those two guys right now. Hopefully the one like Tank what happened with Tank, what happened with Dak. Hopefully.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's just jump into the little chat because we have a few people throwing some interesting comments. The boys 2138 feel bad for like the Practice squad and late round draft pick players. It's much tougher to make the team. If you're a 6th round draft pick, you need those preseason games to make an impression on the coaching staff. Nix, this is something we definitely talked about a lot on your show, on my show last week. J-Tug, we spoke about this as well. The preseason's a big loss, and we can't elaborate on it more. I feel bad for some of those players that this is their last chance to try and make it.
Right, because if you think about it, as we mentioned, with no preseason, the team, Mike McCarthy's a brand new staff. They're not going to have time to analyze the rookies. They want to get the guys who've been there is really going to be the day one starters up to speed. And so the reps are going to be limited for people like, Bradley and I and probably Robinson and those type of players, man, because it's just like, hey, we got to get our core guys up to speed as quickly as possible because I don't even think Mike McCarthy has met a lot of these players even face to face. And so it's going to be a lot of adjusting to do. And I think like our great rookie, of course, you're going to have like the CeeDee Lamb and those type of players can be instant impact. But for those guys that's kind of really on the bubble trying to make a name for themselves, it's going to be a stretch with no preseason reps.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Yeah. For me, I'm a football nerd. I love everything about football. I enjoy preseason. Again, if we're going to get to the point in this league where we're canceling preseason, then it has to be. I've campaigned for this for 10 years. Actual minor league spring football for every single team. If we're canceling preseason, then for sure we got to have spring football, and it has to be minor league for these teams, for these players coming out of college to actually have a chance. Some of the players over the past 10 years that we've had, you don't get a Romo without preseason games.
Right.
You don't get a Miles Austin without preseason games.
A Dak Prescott.
You don't get a Jay Ratliff, a 7th round pick. You don't get a Jay Ratliff that anchored the middle of the defense for a while, no matter how maybe little left he kind of went at times. But without these preseason games, you don't get those guys. So I think preseason is very important. I for one will hate to see it go. I think there's ways they can make money on it. Obviously, I get it. They want 17 games. I'm not a fan of that either. Players, we're worried about players and their health, but we're going to strap it up for another 60 minutes full tilt, and we're going to get rid of more preseason games. So if they're going to do that, to give these teams adequate chances to see these kids come from college, 100-plus schools, We got to get to some kind of minor league system, spring football, and let these guys compete a little bit and have opportunity.
Right.
I agree with you, man. So let's just jump in another comment. K. Lowe, Jerry is known for overpaying. The fact he didn't pay Dak and brought in Dalton speaks volumes. That's something that you guys spoke about earlier. Yeah, man, we definitely agree with that. And it's definitely Nate. I don't even why I'm reading this. Nate Rosario.
He's been on fire all chat, man.
Yeah, man. He's been shout out to Nate, man. He's been busting some jokes. Will you take a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader home and slide into her DMs?
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, if you got her home, yeah, I mean, if she's already home, why we sign to the DMs? But I've been with my old lady for 25 years, so yeah, I'm out on that. Yeah, I like my life. Yeah, I like my life, so no, I'm good.
We're good, man. We're good, man. Listen, what do you guys think? A lot of people are starting to compare, and I have to ask because it came up in the chat earlier, and I wanted to bring it up. Saquon or Zeke?
Oh, I mean, I'm taking Zeke personally.
Zeke,
yeah, I mean, I love Saquon. Don't get me wrong. I love his game and everything, for sure. I love what he brings to the table. I think he's an awesome player. But I mean, I'm just going to take the bias. I'm going to take Zeke. I think Zeke gives you a little bit more in between the tackles of Saquon. Is Saquon maybe a smidge of more of a home run hitter at this stance? Possibly so. But I think if I need dirty yards, I feel more comfortable that Zeke's going to give me more dirty yards than Saquon Barkley is.
Tuck, I see Tuck, man. Tuck. I see you, Tuck.
Well, the question I'm gonna ask: are we just talking about on the field, or are we talking about the full package?
But I'm talking on the field.
On the field.
Yeah. On the field.
Hey,
yeah.
Speaking of which, I mean, if we're talking about off the field, Zeke right here went to South Oak Cliff High today to speak to the football team, so it's not all bad for him off the field. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Get some PR.
Spoony.
Fed some fans. He fed some family. He fed some family. Fed about 400,000 families a couple weeks ago. So
I know we got Giants fans watching, and I'm not picking Zeke because I'm a Cowboy fan. If you go to college football, and you see how Barkley's game is away from the tackle. Barkley does not like to hit the middle. Barkley likes to bounce on the outside. Is he a complete back? No, he's not. He's the most explosive back. When you look at Ezekiel Elliott, go look at the game against Alabama. Alabama is the juggernaut of college football. The man has over 200 yards rushing, multiple touchdowns against the juggernaut defense of Alabama. There's your answer right there. I mean, it's not about being biased, but if you're talking about the better football player, better running back who will get you them dirty yards when needed, right. Zeke would do that for you. If you want a guy to maybe get one missing for a touchdown, then it's Barkley. But I'm going with the guy who's a little bit more all around in Zeke.
Yeah, I took a beating yesterday on Twitter for defending Zeke, man. But it wasn't against Saquon, it was against Christian McCaffrey. But that's a whole different conversation. So
fair. I mean, Christian is Christian. I don't know. I don't believe he should be a 99 in Madden, but that's neither here nor there either.
That was my only point, man. I was like a 99 back-to-back 99 overall. Nah.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
People lose their minds at Madden's ratings.
Because
they do.
For me, I'm personally, I'm a Madden diehard. Like I'm a Madden addict, man. So it means the world to me because I play with my team.
Oh, you
and I feel like, oh yeah, man.
After this, some names: PS4, or Xbox.
I don't know, all three, man. PC, Xbox, PS4,
damn,
wherever you need to find me, I'm there, man.
I'll give you my name.
All right, we'll get there.
Yo, just so you know, Tuck, Nick's owns a gaming store.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'm a gamer, man. Follow me on Twitch too, man.
Oh boy.
Here's the thing, Tuck. Here's the thing. BJ knows he knows his stuff with games, of course. But when it comes to Madden, do not follow him because remember back in the days we were able to go to GameStop at 12 midnight and pick up the game. Well, they're not doing that now. See, BJ has the luxury of bringing the game home, and once he unwraps, he starts playing. Because of him, I had to buy extra hardware, a hard drive for my PS4 because I have no more space. Because I actually bought the Madden and downloaded it onto the thing. I couldn't wait. He was playing, showing it off, and
yeah, it was having a good time.
Well, yeah, I had the beta last week, man.
Yeah.
So I'm already been on Madden 21.
Like low key. Here's my thing. The wildest rating to me in Madden 21 is this though. Rob Gronkowski's a 95.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
He took a whole year off. He wasn't even a 95 in the last game.
95.
He came back and he's a 95. I was like, wow.
Listen, you know what I think happens, guys? I think some of these players slip Madden some money. They must slip the Madden organization a bit of money.
No.
They're Cowboys haters, man. There's no way around it, man. They're Cowboys haters. Zeke's a 92.
Yeah.
CMC's a 99. But
Yeah.
Zeke's not top 10 in speed. He's not top 10 in break tackle.
What's Amari?
He's number 7 in stiff arm. Like, so what are we talking about? Like, what game are we watching, man? Let's see.
I mean, Nick Chubb's a 94.
Hey, listen. Do you guys know who's one of the guys in charge of the EA Sports with the ratings? Barry Sanders Jr., who played with CMC and Stanford.
Right.
And I'm like, are you giving the Cowboys these kind of ratings because Emmitt Smith was better than your father? I mean, I wanted to ask him that.
There we go.
I want to ask him that. Because here's my thing.
You know how many fist fights I've almost gotten in that conversation? I'm from Wichita, so I'm from the home of Barry Sanders.
Oh, wow.
And so I've been 10 toes down saying, what my Emmett stance, because I brought this up on Twitter. It's a good conversation if you guys got time.
I got time.
But what player on the Dallas Cowboys would you say a consensus would say is the best at their position? Like outside of Cowboys Nation?
Outside of Cowboys Nation?
Yeah. If you say this player
now
I'm talking about all time.
All time.
Because nobody will ever say a Dallas Cowboys player is top 3 at their position. No. They won't get it.
Larry Allen has to be the top left guard of all time.
He was the one I said, possibly Larry Allen, depending on who you're talking to if they know their football.
And here's my argument. Although look, and here's my quick diatribe why I put Emmett over Barry. Because everyone says, well, you're a homer. This is why you put Emmett over Barry. Let me tell you why though. At the end of the day, you look at in the NFC East, it wasn't just us. We had the Giants go win the Super Bowl. You had the Redskins go win the Super Bowl. You look at that Eagles defense in the early to mid '90s and what they had.
Right.
He consistently played against better defenses than Barry Sanders did. He was playing the Yucks back in the day, so on and so forth, right?
And San Francisco to get through the Super Bowl.
Right. And then on top of that, who leads the league in most yards, most carries for loss? Barry Sanders. And that's because of his line. Well, Emmett and Barry both have one offensive lineman in the Hall of Fame. That's it.
You know, I think for that, I think ESPN loves to spread false information that the fan base who don't like the Cowboys, they run with it. Like for instance, when people say, "Well, Emmett had a great offensive line," I've always asked, "Well, give me the guy." All they can name is Larry Allen, because Larry Allen at the time in 95, 96, no 96, he was probably the most recognizable one. But I said, no, before that, the original war, Larry Allen was not there in the early age with Emmitt Smith. Remember, the group of guys they had there were either a low draft pick, like say Mark Tooney, let's just say an old timer like Nate Newton, whose career got rejuvenated at the end of the career. Or how about
Kevin
Donaldson from the 49ers, where they let him just drop him. He played guard. I mean, it was great coaching.
Right.
After the original war, then you had the Larry Allen, who came in with one championship run, and you had the Eric Williams. You still had Nate there, and Stepnowski. You had Bishop. It was great coaching. And here's another thing: great leadership with Emmitt Smith.
Right.
If Eric never gets hurt, it'll be interesting to see where his career would have ended up at. And of course, I always tell everybody, they won games without Aikman. They won games without Michael. They never won a game without Emmett.
Right.
So,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. I've been in that conversation, but every time you bring up a Cowboys player, there's always something to discredit that player. I mean, even today, it's like Dak. Anybody can win with those weapons that Dak got. And when it comes to Zeke, anybody can run behind that O line. When it comes to a wide receiver, so it's always something, the reason why, versus just saying that this player is one of the best at his position.
and of course, Well, it was the same with Romo as well. I mean, look, like I told a lot of people, we were going 8-8 those years, and they were trying to build this line and everything. Romo, if it wasn't for Romo, those teams are 4-12, 5-11, and that's how Romo. I like the quote. I don't care a lot for the guy, but old Cowherd had a quote said, "Man, it seems like somebody at a bar walks in one day and says, that Tony Romo, he's really not that good," and somebody just ran with that. It was always the kind of the temperament or whatever the case. But I mean, it comes with the territory. This is why I tell everyone that gets up in arms and whatnot, and I call it free rent, #free rent, because I see people not even from the NFC East post about the Cowboys or whatever. I'm like, it's free rent, and I'm like, y'all are the reason why we're still considered America's team, because if y'all would shut up. Then we wouldn't be talking about. But wait, we pay Skip's salary, we pay Stephen A's salary. I mean, we make the world go around. We're the Yankees.
We keep the lights on, man.
Here's the thing. ESPN and every network, right? Every network during this whole pandemic, they should be writing a thank you card, right, to Jerry Jones, saying thank you for allowing for y'all to give us some material for us to talk about, because everything else is boring. Like, for instance, Derrick Henry, all these guys, they were on the attack. Not one time you had a heavy conversation about it. No, it was all that. So like tomorrow morning, it's going to be that.
Of course.
Yeah, it's going to.
By the way,
this Dak contract's going to take us right to NBA basketball and into training camp, and then we're
all
good.
of it.
Yeah, we're famous. We are famous.
By the way, though, I think the best running back of all time, I'm going to put it on record, as much as I do love him, I think it's Walter Payton.
I agree. I agree. Listen, if you say Deion Sanders, they're going to say he can't tackle.
No, they're going to say Deion technically isn't a Cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
They always find a way.
Thank you.
Exactly.
They always find a way. You say
Darren Woods is not even in the Hall of Fame.
Should be in the Ring of Honor and the Hall of Fame. That is trash what he's on the Hall of Fame.
So it's just a never-ending list, man. Because I brought that up the other day, man. I was like, I've never said, you know what? He's the best that ever did it. Like, wait till it's Jason Witten in the conversation. He'll never be in the top 3 for tight end. They'll find, and it's like always something. They'll never give a Cowboys players credit, and that just comes with the territory.
There it is.
Here's the thing.
Wherever it is.
Here's the thing, you guys. When I went to the NFL draft in Philadelphia, right? And this was day 2. Day 2 only. And at the draft, I went to the NFL shop. I said, you know what? I'm feeling good. So far, so good. I want to get me in New Jersey. I go into the shop. They says, all Cowboy stuff are sold out. So I came out and said, even keychains? They said sold out. Check back tomorrow. Right? This was the same draft when, oh my God, what's Drew Pearson was trolling the Eagles fans, right? When we drafted Cheeto.
Right.
The Cowboy Nation, this is Philadelphia. The Cowboy Nation, we took over.
Right.
Ben Franklin Parkway.
Right.
We took over. Mind you, this is Philadelphia. This is your house.
Right.
Right? And you know what? I didn't get kicked out or nothing like that. You know, I had made a little joke because they had a Super Bowl trophy inside the trophy case. And a lot of the Eagles fans were taking pictures. So I barked out and said, well, listen, take advantage because that'd be probably the only time you ever see one, whatever.
Right.
But they got one. But it was all jokes. But the Cowboy Nation took over. This is what I'm saying. Yeah. Everywhere, no matter where it's at, whatever the event's at, we represent. That's part of the reason why we're America's team. We travel with the love of our team. Right. No matter how, man, we are with them like today, we're going to continue the trend.
Yeah.
AFC Championship game here in Kansas City. Cold, freezing weather. I was there, Cowboy, silver and blued up. Like, whatever, man.
We go in there.
We're nationwide. The Dallas
Cowboys. The fun part about it, and I tell my wife this, I am never alone. I've been over to Thailand, all the way across the seas of Thailand. Met a guy who was a Cowboys fan, a huge Dead's Bryant fan. We had a blast, man. We're just everywhere. That's what makes Cowboys Nation so special, man.
That's true.
We've been through a lot tonight, man, but we'll be back. We'll figure it out. And if we do have football, we'll be competitive. And
believe it or not, my wife is from Mexico. You guys know that. Mexico is huge Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh yeah, that's Cowboys.
I actually have a Cowboy hat that is in the Mexican flag colors.
Really?
Actually,
Wow.
I'll send you a picture of it. It's pretty dope. You know, and I mean, and like you said, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to Puerto Rico, I've been down to San Montego. So, I mean, and I'll wear my Cowboy stuff, and I always run into somebody. They'll look at me and say, "Go Cowboys!" That are native to whatever country I'm in. Hey, and it is what it is.
Hey, BJ, imagine if we made it to Vegas for the NFL draft.
And so that was the thing.
Oh, we was there.
I was there in January. I was there.
I was headed there. But you see how the NFL drugged the draft out to very last minute, because I kept saying, "Oh, we're gonna have the draft." I was booked. Like, actually, when people started talking about COVID, I canceled my resort and rebooked it for a better suite there. I was like, okay. Right. And it was like 2 weeks before the NFL finally came out and said, we're not having a draft. And I feel like they're doing the same thing. They're dragging it out to the very last minute and then canceling, man.
Well, me and BJ was in the Bellagio.
Yeah.
I was there in January.
Right there, Bellagio ready. I was like, oh, man, breaking news. Like, I was pissed.
Yeah,
but we in Cleveland. We in Cleveland next year. We got the hotels already.
I'm going, man. I'm going with them, J-Tuck. I'm going.
Here's how the NFL gets fans. I'm so dumb and naive. As soon as I heard Jason Witten's voice and I saw Vegas, I booked my tickets for the Pro Bowl. As soon as I was like, oh man, the Pro Bowl in January, in Vegas, let's go. I got on, booked my reservation to Vegas, and then I'm thinking, Tuck, damn well we're not having the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Not in January. But that's what the NFL does, man. So, I mean, we're fanatics for a reason, so they're keeping us on, edge of our seats, man, but sometimes he's got to start being realistic.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah, man.
That's why we America's team. We show our love and appreciation no matter how mad we are at them today. But we go out there and we rep it up, though. So.
Right. Drew Henson, Quincy Carter, Ryan Leaf. I still represent it, man. So it's like, and that's why I said Dak was such a breath of fresh air.
He was, man, across the board.
I mean, go back and see my tweets, man. Like, I tweeted Good Morning Football because I was at the draft in Chicago. I tweeted Good Morning Football. They were like, Cowboys Nation, who would you guys want? I said, Dak Prescott, high IQ, proven leader. I just posted it yesterday.
I mean, I do a big board every year. And that year for quarterbacks, I had Wentz 1, I had Dak 2.
Yeah.
Which I knew a lot of people was like, you're crazy. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I watched him in Mississippi and what he did. I'm like, I want no parts of golf, period. I have Dak 2. So, yeah, it's one of those things, man. We looked up, and look, right, and how crazy, right? We tried to trade it for Paxton. We dodged that bullet. We tried to trade up for Connor Cook. We dodged that bullet.
Yeah.
Even Roger Staubach throughout the whole thing was like, hey, if you want a guy, you should go get Dak. Even Wade Wilson, God bless his soul, spent extra time with him at the Senior Bowl. It's like, no, Dak is the guy, so on and so forth. And he still landed in our laps. And then 4 years and 40 wins later, tag action.
Yep, tag. That's it, man.
Tag man. Guys, as you know, I said it before. I was there, fellas. January, man.
Yeah.
Exactly where it was going to be. Trust me, Bellagio. That's where I was, man. And I was going back. But I will definitely be hitting the draft for you guys next year, should there be a draft.
Have you guys been to Cleveland before?
Nah.
So whatever you guys hear about me, it's not true. But I'll tell you this right now. The last time I went there, I was there. It was the Cowboys at Browns, right? And we took over. And the hotel is like right down the block from the stadium. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I give credit to Browns fans. About 4 a.m, they were starting to tailgate. Music was loud and everything. But Cowboys came in there. Great time. I'm gonna tell you this: the draft day is gonna be nice. It's not Vegas. Right. It's gonna be. I know it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice.
Well, the following year, guys, when it comes to Kansas City, man, you guys have to link up with me because it'll be here.
Oh, I'm there. I'm definitely there, Kansas City. I'm definitely there, Kansas City.
Yeah,
definitely
man.
there.
Guys,
matter of fact, in Vegas the following year, I think they said.
So
make it up.
So Vegas relieved. So Vegas relieved Kansas City then, didn't they?
Yeah. So Vegas. Vegas. After Cleveland. Kansas City.
Oh, cool. Well, then we'll run it back.
Yeah.
There you go.
Listen, guys.
Could you have 1 second, Sid? Could you imagine, like, and I tell my wife and everybody this, I couldn't imagine me being in Vegas and being out there on the strip and hearing that we drafted CeeDee Lamb. Like, if you look on, because like you mentioned that BJ was on the CeeDee Lamb, I was on it too. Like I was on it like way back in like February.
Me too.
And, like, I can imagine being in Vegas and us drafting CeeDee Lamb, man. Y'all probably, I still be out there somewhere floating in that water.
Yeah, no, it's no doubt. Like I said, it's like, who do you want? I said, who would I want? But I said, I want CeeDee Lamb. He was like, wow, we got offense. I'm like, man, I was like, he makes a difference. I'm like, if you go and look, 30 points and above, we were undefeated last year. I'm like, we averaged 27.1. I think CeeDee Lamb gives us a 3-point boost to this offense. And I was just all in. I was like, look, there's not one guy that we could draft at 17 defensively to turn this defense around. Right. I'm like, but you add to that offense that was already potent last year and make it even more potent. It helps the defense. It was a pick that would help. Now, did I think it would be there? Spoon tried to talk me into Jerry Jeudy. I'm like, I'm good.
As soon as Denver took Jeudy, man, my heart started beating, man. My heart started beating.
That's where I was at. Atlanta got there. The only thing that scared me, and again, the difference, and as we talk about, well, maybe this idea that McCarthy doesn't have a say. Whenever they didn't trade with the Eagles, and they ended up taking the quarterback from Clemson, and they left Chase on the board. I was like, I was like, oh no, Chase on. I full-heartedly believe that if Garrett was here, we would have took Chase on, or we would have traded back because we have so many picks we want. But with McCarthy being here, it's like no, go take Lamb. I was screaming at the team. I was like, Stephen Jones looks to be a coward. Take CeeDee. And yeah, I'm with you. I told both Mary, who's not here tonight, also a part of our Stargate podcast, and when I was like, if I was in Vegas and we took CeeDee Lamb, I might have ended up in jail. I don't know.
Right, yeah, it would be a long night.
Oh man,
I already had it because here's the thing. I'm trying to get the video right now to give you a little glimpse, but without the music, of course. But let me tell you, Sam, when we started doing the NFL draft talk, it was always that guy. But if CeeDee Lamb is our vicinity, that's who I wanted. And I started off with wanting Jerry Jeudy. Right. I know Miss Mary, she wanted one of the fatties, right? But then once the draft, the offseason, the free agency was kind of passing by, we started to change. Right. I said, wow, you know what? Yeah, see, it's K'Lavon Chase from LSU or CeeDee Lamb is there. We have to go get him. Man, hold on. Let me get this video.
Yeah, that's where I
let me get this video. DJ, man, listen.
Scorched Earth Offense. I'm the CEO of the SEO. Scorched Earth Offense, baby. That's what it's all about. Go out here, drop 40 burgers as much as you can, and make it do what it do. That's the only thing that you can do. And look, and we got help defensively anyways. I mean, not only the fact that we got Diggs, we got Bradley and Nate. And shout out to the Eagles letting us trade up and get our replacement for the Beard.
Right.
Shout out to the Eagles giving us an assist. I was like, oh.
We'll take it.
Look at there. Yeah, I mean, thanks. Appreciate it. And then of course, they lose their guy guard, which they just signed, back to play guard for them, Peters.
Right.
They gave him the 1-year deal, $3 million guaranteed up to $6 million, and he's going to step in and pick up for Brooks at guard for them. So yeah, I mean, that draft was definitely. Mary lit the old candle.
Yeah, Mary got the candle. His BJ watching.
Oh yeah, I was ready.
Boom.
Gone. I was gone.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna put Mark out the way. Excuse me.
I'll have to tweet you guys my reaction, man.
Man.
I predicted it and it happened, man. So
you pushed up, yeah.
BJ was out, man. But listen, that's the reason why. Like I know, I'm feeling kind of better. This is more like a therapy session for me.
Right? Yeah. I know, right?
We appreciate as long as we need you to make it through the night, bro. That's all we need.
Yeah,
please.
No doubt. Here's the thing. I felt like we talk about CeeDee Lamb. It's like everything was a blessing in disguise for us.
Right.
And Dak Prescott was just that cherry on the top to get a deal done. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that, like BJ was saying earlier, that he'll be tagged next year and he's our future guy. Again, I don't want to start over. I really don't.
Right.
I think this team right now, this is probably the best talented roster we have seen in a long time.
And we have a lot of young, hungry.
Yes, and we got, you know what, Sid? We got a coach right now that I could put in place. I'm not gonna say Jimmy Johnson, but I will say maybe a Parcells height. Because when Parcells came, that was a big time name coach, and we finally got one McCarthy, not a guy that we got to groom like Garrett, no disrespect to him, but a guy like McCarthy, and we got incredible coaching staff as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, I hope they have a good plan, even if they move on for Dak and they got a plan for something else, please.
Yeah.
We're tied. 25 years already?
Yeah.
25
let it play out, brother. Let it play out.
All right, guys, man, listen. I want to send a shout out to everybody who's tuned in on the chat. Thanks for the support. Love the interaction that we've had from everyone. Before we get out of here, guys, what's your prediction for the Dallas Cowboys going into the 2020 season? J-Tuck, please kick it off.
What I had is 11 wins, so I'm gonna stick with 11 wins, man. And I got us at an NFC Championship appearance, and I'll stop there because I'm not gonna go too overboard. Though I did say I already had my hotel booked, and if the Cowboys draft CeeDee Lamb, I was gonna book my flight to Tampa. So I mean, I was gonna leave it at there. So
all right, I got it. I got it at 10-6. I think worst 8-8 at best, 12-4. I think 10-6 is kind of where we're at. I would be more lenient towards 11-5 and whatnot, but without the preseason and everything that's happening right now, and this coaching staff's kind of on the fly with getting these pieces together, I think we might have to start a little slow and then kind of ramp up. I think this defense is going to be very much better towards the end of the year than early of the year as they're learning this new system and everything that's happening. So I got to set that 10-6, winning the division. And then, once you're in the tournament, anything can happen. Now obviously me, Spoon, Chop, the people from Stargame, we actually, the reason we came up with the hashtag Route 33 was we said if we got Jamal Adams, then the way to Tampa was Route 33. That's why we use Route 33. If we got Jamal Adams, I think that puts us over the top. I don't think it's going to happen. But I got us a 10-6 win in the division, and we'll see what happens from there. 10-6.
You guys caught me at the right time today, so it's a good. I feel much better. So I got them at 11-5 as well. I've got them go to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, we get over that hump.
All right. So I'm a little bit more optimistic than you guys. I have them at 12-4. I called that out at the beginning a couple months ago, and I still believe that we're going to reach that goal. And I have them winning the NFC East as well. J-Tuck, let the fans know where to find you once again.
Yeah, you can find me at JTuck151 on Twitter, also on Instagram. And then for YouTube channel, go ahead, comment, and subscribe. Cowboys Fans Only. That's fans with the S. And then also on Facebook, give us a like, Cowboys Fans Only. So.
Yeah. Nix, go ahead, man.
Yeah, as you see across the bottom, your guy Nix _ in between your and guy, after your and after guy, as well. Stargate for us on Facebook. We have a group. Join the group. We'll get you in there. Me and Spoon also got the page. You can like and follow the page. Hit the notification when we go live. YouTube's coming. As you can see, I'm commenting as our YouTube page now. We just have a lot of we haven't put any content on there yet. But yeah, definitely where you can find me.
Spoonie, go ahead, man.
Listen, everything BJ said, but you can also find me at my Twitter at Spoonie881.
Yeah, man, 100%. Guys, you know where to find me, Dallas Cowboys for Life YouTube channel. I definitely got my new Facebook up. It's definitely scrolling down below as you see. All these guys' Facebook information is scrolling at the bottom as well. Go definitely check me out on Twitter, SidDC for Life.